Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Radar for Wrestling. Thank you for joining me. Waiting on my guys from West Coast Pop. They just finished up a live watch along of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view event. So they're finishing that up. Waiting on them to come join me here for this Money in the Bank 2021 review and reaction for one crazy ass show. The first pay-per-view since WrestleMania with fans in this kind of trio of events we're getting with Friday Night SmackDown, this pay-per-view, and tomorrow night Monday Night Raw with fans live. Off the top, it's a solid pay-per-view. It was a solid pay-per-view. A lot of fun, mostly because the fans. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, it felt like there was a lot of fan noise piped in, especially the "This is awesome" chants, stuff like that. Let me bring in Zach from West Coast Cast. He's here now. Add it to the stream. Hey, Zach, how's it going? Not too happy with what transpired how the show ended.
John Cena is back. Why?
Well, I mean, there's one guy we know who's extremely excited about it.
Yeah. Hey, Anthony, you see Fast 9?
No, I have not.
Good man. Don't. John Cena acting is so you can't see it. It's not there.
It's not even there to see. Oh no. Man. But what did you think about the pay-per-view in a whole?
As a whole, I didn't get to see a bunch of it because Peacock, it bugged out. I did not get to see the men's Money in the Bank match.
And I didn't see most of it either. I'd had the same issues where Peacock is just utter garbage and it kept skipping. It was kind of like you would see a little bit, a snippet, turn to black. You wouldn't hear any audio and it would come back on. A lot of people deal with the same stuff.
Yep. Overall, I think it was fine. I didn't get exactly what I wanted out of it.
Yeah, I would have to agree as well. I mean, minus like it wasn't like that great of a pay-per-view. I think it's more of you look at it kind of like with rose-colored glasses because of the fans being back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's more what it is. Well, we got Knock on the stream. Hey, what's up going on, Knock? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, not bad. I was just asking this question. What did you think about the pay-per-view overall?
Oh man, my boy, you can't see me returned. I loved it. Big E. There's so much big things that happened, man. I enjoyed it. I thought the first half was a little lackluster, and I didn't really enjoy some of the decisions, but they finished so strong.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting way to end it. We've been getting the seeds planted for a while for Rollins and Edge at SummerSlam. It's been set up, rumored, and we pretty much got it. I mean, like that was pretty much just like there was a foregone conclusion, but we pretty much got the stamp of approval that match is going to go down at SummerSlam, and obviously with Cena coming out at the end, it was pretty wild.
Yes, sir.
Quick comments right here. Always Talks Wrestling. What's up, Always Talk Wrestling? Thanks for joining us. Coming over from West Coast Pop stream. Roman Edge is one of the best matches I've watched. It was a really good match. I mean, really. What did you guys think about the Roman Edge match? We'll get some more detail later, but you know.
Real quick, just slower paced, but they worked. They worked their ass off. It was solid.
Definitely agree.
Yeah. I thought it worked. I'm used to older matches like this growing up in like the 80s wrestling and stuff like that. So I get it. It's just, you come off of something like Dynamite, you come off of something like the Money in the Bank matches, and it does seem slower and off, but I got it. I was fine with it.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. You hit the nail on the head there. Is the fact that you see all this other stuff going on, all these other matches like on Dynamite, like these Money in the Banks, big spots, a lot of stuff going on that when they tend to slow it down here and they work slower, it kind of throws you for a little bit of a loop, but it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, it's like Bret Hart old school storytelling.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what you get there. My boy on Cruise Control. What's up, Lewis? He ain't gonna lie, that Cena pop was dope.
Yes, sir.
I know Zach was not a fan of that Cena pop.
There are dead people that are less buried than the wrestlers on that roster right now.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit later because there's a kind of a conundrum that WWE has currently when it comes to Roman Reigns and as to why probably they went with this move. But just before we get into it, I'll start with Knock. Out of 5, what was the pay-per-view?
Ooh. Okay, so before Cena returned, I put it like a 2.5. When Cena came back, I'm giving him the full number, 3.5 for this pay-per-view.
Oh, one full number up just because of Cena.
Family, baby.
Yeah. I mean, you know what it is, man? He does say it. He'll brush your mouth like Colgate. So, I mean, that's what you get when you get John Cena out there.
You know the words.
He's bringing it up 1 whole point for Knock. What about you, Zach?
I'm going to give it a 2.9. I just, the fans really helped a lot of it. A lot of it, you could still feel like you're kind of in the Thunderdome with some of the matches.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from. Now, did you hear piped in crowd noise? It felt like some of the crowd noise felt kind of fake. I don't know if
there was one spot we had to do a lot because we were live broadcasting, so we didn't get the full thing. There was one spot, and I'm trying to remember. It 100% sounded like it was a little bit canned.
Yeah.
Now, there was one spot I remember in the Charlotte Rhea Ripley match where they did the "This is awesome" chant, and they did a pan out of the crowd, and it didn't seem like a lot of people were doing the chant, and they cut away from it quickly to like her face. So I think there was a lot of crowd, like piped in crowd noise. But I didn't think they actually needed it, to be honest with you, because the fans are just super excited to be there because they haven't been there forever. I don't think. But I'm gonna add one more guy to this, Eric.
Well, how you doing, buddies? Like John Cena, I have made my appearance.
There it is.
Yeah, just like John Cena, go away.
Give him the axe as soon as you
Oh man, how you doing, Anthony?
Not bad. I'm doing good. I was asking Zach and Knock the same question. Rated out of 5 pay-per-view.
2.9.
Okay.
Damn.
I was a big fan.
That's Zach said the same thing. Now, Knock differently said it was a 2.5, but Cena coming back brought it up 1 full point, so 3.5.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you get Cena, right, Zach? Everything is better. The sun is more, it's brighter. The sky is more blue. Everything just makes sense.
Knock, how did Cena put over Fast 9 for you?
We're not gonna talk about it.
We're not gonna talk about on Cruise Control. Laughing my ass off. I hate Cena, but that loud pop was great to hear.
I'll give you that.
You love to hear it. I mean, you love to see it. You love to see it. You love to hear it. That stuff, it gets you back into the kind of the mode you were in pre-pandemic. But since we brought up Fast 9, and since this is all about family, we had this first match, which was a kickoff match. It was a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. It was family versus family. The Usos, the twin Uso brothers, taking on Rey and Dominic, the father-son combo. I know you guys didn't get to see this match, correct?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, I'm gonna say this off the bat, like I said in your guys' stream on the chat. This was the best kickoff match I can ever remember. I think it's the best kickoff match of all time. They put this match there, seemingly to kind of make the kickoff feel more important. I think, because like you guys were saying, they could have put like AJ Omos there or something like that versus Viking Raiders, something different there. But we got this match, and I thought it was really well done. I really enjoyed the father-son duo. That kind of hits home for me, so I like that aspect. Jimmy and Jay, great as heels, great stuff that they were doing in this matchup. The interesting spot where Ray goes for the 619, I think it's on Jay, and Jimmy takes the bullet. Like he jumps right in front of Ray's on the apron and takes the bullet for Jimmy. So I thought it was really good. The spot at the end, they throw Dominic out, and then they go for the roll up on Ray. And again, I mistake these guys for each other all the time. It's either Jimmy or Jay going for the roll up, and the other one is holding the back with his feet, like he kind of puts his feet up against the back of his brother and holds the pin there, and that's how they win these SmackDown Tag Team titles. And then after the fact, you have them going backstage and kind of showing it to kind of like, Big Papa Reigns, like, oh look, we won this. You be happy for us, be proud of us, be proud of us. And he's kind of indifferent about it. Is like, basically it's all because of me. You guys got that. Like I did the heavy lifting. I mean, he literally said to Jay, he was like, I mean, who brought you back? Like literally, who went and found you while you were missing and brought you back? Look where you guys are at now. I know you guys didn't see the match, but how do you feel about the overall ending and the fact that the bloodline is fully complete and they have these tag team titles? I'll start with Eric first.
Only issue is I wish it was on the pre-show. That should have been a big moment, a big match for everyone to see. Even if you had on SmackDown with time, I would have been cool with that. But you know what? Bloodline's got their gold, even though it's silver. I can't hate it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Now, for me, I probably would have placed it before the Roman match. You could have had the interaction in the backstage before he goes out to his match. Yeah, I think probably would have played off a little bit better there. But I'll kick it over to Zach. What do you think about the end result of this?
I'm fine with the end result. It's just the awkward spot to put it.
Yes,
very
I totally agree.
I do like what they had Roman kind of say to them, because it is kind of true. It's the same thing that Knox says to Eric and I every Sunday. But
what do you think, Knox? What do you think about the end result, and what does Zach just have to say?
I'll say what you said first. I like that you said it should have went before Roman. That would have been kind of cool, because you need a buffer between matches too.
Yeah.
I want to challenge you on this though. You think it was better than the Usos versus like New Day? Remember when the Usos were tag champs back in the day, and they were going on a stretch of pre-show matches that were just off the charts? The Usos know how to tell stories better than any other tag team out there. So I believe this, and you go and watch it. Zach, man, You're not the
Yes,
champion,
boss.
so hey, man. Final boss over here. Thank you so much. You already know. But yeah, you think this is for sure better than like some of those Usos matches back in the day?
I would have to physically go back and watch them just to kind of remember. But I felt like like I said, I said in the beginning, I was telling Zach, I was like, you look at this pay-per-view with rose-colored glasses because of the fans being back, right?
Yeah.
So that plays a role into a lot of it. The fans are really behind Dominic and they're really behind Ray. They love the Usos as well. It's just, I felt like because technically de facto a main association with Roman, their association with Edge. So I think that plays a part. It felt like just a match that was too big to be on the pre-show. So that's why I give it like, I think it's the best pre-show match, that I can remember seeing. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first match. Yeah, no matter what, they got the 7-time champs. The bloodline is complete. They're holding down these titles. We'll see what that entails for SummerSlam now with obviously John Cena being there. We'll see what happens going in SummerSlam with the bloodline and everybody else. The next match on the show was that women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's the first official match of the show. And I just gotta say this first. I mean, I don't know if they were watching like one of my videos or one of my streams, but the fact that they decided to call her Nikki ASH rather than Nikki Ash, because I've been saying Nikki Ash sounds a lot like Nikki Ass, and you can kind of screw up that word a lot. So they decided to change this. They kept calling her Nikki ASH, which I thought was funny because it's
both work on a t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't roll off the tongue when you kind of going through a commentary thing like Nikki ASH, Nikki ASH every 5 times. But enough of my rambling. I'll kick it over to Knock first. What do you think about this match?
Okay, so I thought this was a very solid match. You have so much going on with the Liv Morgan storylines, Zelina returning. I mean, you threw Tamina in there for whatever reason, but okay. I saw Asuka, I saw Naomi. I was rooting for Naomi. I think I predicted Zelina Vega. The match was solid. It's just that ending. It was so lackluster and anticlimactic for me to just have her crawl up there with everyone fighting and take that. I thought we could have seen I don't know. It's a Money in the Bank. I feel like I need that big spot, So that kind of messed it up for me and brought it down. And I think Eric's going to touch this when he talks about it. You can't really give the Money in the Bank to someone you don't believe in. So that kind of, again, takes it down a notch for me. But a solid match from all these women.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Now, the whole thing with they dropped all the ladders on top of Alexa, I didn't feel like that was warranted. The spot where she kind of forces Zelina to kind of mind control her back down the ladder, I thought that was actually a pretty solid spot with everything considered. But give it over to Eric. What do you think about this match?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that ladder spot because the reason I'm okay with the ladder spot and I'm okay with the finish is because we've seen those both done numerous times and they never work. So at some point you do have to, you kind of be like, okay, we'll throw it away once where like it actually works. So it makes sense why we did it. So I'm kind of okay with it. The match itself, what's a step below solid? I'm just there. It was good. They did a good job. They should all go home happy except for Tamina because Tamina.
Oh,
but I'm not a big fan of Nikki Cross winning. I don't think I'm getting all those flashbacks from it. I'm not huge on her.
Now, do you think everybody looks like it's just a dumbass because of the way they lost it? They're all kind of like fighting each other, and she just kind of sneaks up the middle ladder and just kind of takes it.
They definitely do. They did. I can't remember like Oscar or someone was like right next to her when she got it, and they're like, it makes perfect sense. It was a weird way to win, but if Nikki wins it, then I'll say I'll just write it off as okay, fine. But if she loses it, then waste of a match.
Big time. I totally agree. What about you, Zach?
Yeah.
I think you guys covered everything about this match. I just want to point out 2 things with Alexa and the Zelina thing and with Nikki's character. We talked about this on the live stream. It's a sports entertainment company, not a wrestling company. That's why we got to take it with a grain of salt. Yep. And that's why the goofiness kind of works. But the bright side about this match, even as basic as it was, especially in the Money in the Bank, since we're so spoiled, let's take positive notes at the crowd reaction to Liv. Let's take positive reactions to Zelina, and hopefully management takes notice of that because that was a live crowd popping bigger for 2 people that they haven't really pushed in the past.
Yeah.
True story. And it'll be interesting to see where they venture off after this. I assume they will feud with each other and eventually make it Liv versus Sonya because that seems to be where things are headed. It'll be interesting to see what Alexa Bliss does after this because Nikki ASH is the one with the Money in the Bank briefcase. What does she do after this going forward? Let's get to the comments really quick. Martin Carrillo. Hey, Martin, how you doing? You say, what's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Everyone think Big E will cash in on Lashley, but would Big E have a chance at winning the Universal title? Interesting question because it's something I want to touch on as well when we get to the Roman match. I just don't think he's at the level that he warrants to actually. I think it's detrimental to him to cash it in on Roman because that's an automatic L. I mean, I think he's taking the L on that every single day.
No shot.
Right?
No shot.
There's no shot, and that's the conundrum you kind of have with Roman. He's too damn good at this point that you don't have guys to kind of deal with him or believable. So you have to bring in a part timer. You don't have to. But you decide to bring in a part timer like John Cena to kind of try to make it believable that he may beat him. On Cruise Control, man, Liv should have won. Okay, so me and my boy on Cruise Control, I've known this guy for a very long time. We're Liv Morgan fans. We're probably not the best reasons in the world. But yeah, we're down with Liv Morgan. I kind of feel like she should have won, but because she did have, I think, the most fanfare for her during this match, like Zach touched on. Martin Carrillo, I really didn't feel like Nikki's win. And I was hoping a big finish for a good winner. Nikki will look childish with the briefcase. She's great, but I don't like her winning. What do you guys have to say about that one?
She might sell some toys with that briefcase.
Like Jinder's motorcycle.
Exactly.
Like I think he hits the nail on the head. Now, will she put like a little cape on the briefcase?
Yeah, something like that. I'll ask you this though: would you have given the briefcase to a Hurricane Helms in this prime?
No, I probably would have not. I don't think so.
Then I don't know about this one.
It's tough ask.
Yeah, I'll accept this if she changes her character back when she cashes in. Like that was a joke. I got you all. F you. I'm a pissed off. Piss and vinegar, Nikki Cross. That's what I like.
I mean, because do you think she's the Otis of this, like where she doesn't even end up cashing it in? They just kind of they kind of roll with her and they're like, hey, it's not really working. Let's try to get on somebody else.
If they book her with Alexa, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
they're going to use her to get another heel over. You take out this babyface with her first opportunity to get this, and then get a heel over better that way.
Yeah, I agree with the Alexa comment as well. If they put her with Alexa, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Alexa's probably coming out of that with that Money in the Bank contract. On Cruise Control knows what it is when it comes to Liv Morgan. Martin Carrillo, we should have knew Nikki was getting pushed for the new gimmick. What do you guys think about that? Like, did you feel like going in that she was kind of probably maybe somebody was going to probably win it because of the push she's been getting?
I didn't think so because like I feel like they've done this with other people, and then they just don't do anything with it. So I thought maybe it'd be like, oh yeah, we'll push her, but we're not going to actually go the full distance with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's your story. My cousin Eric Drip in the house. This guy, he's trying to tagline this, but it's not going to work because he's just not going to get that name. He's been trying to do this for a while, but it ain't going to work.
Respect. He's trying.
I was trying to say for the next 6 live streams I do, that would be his first comment in the chat all the time. Martin Carrillo, I would have liked Santina to cash in on.
No.
Oh boy.
What do you guys have to say about that one?
Not much.
All right, so if this is the first match you guys saw, right, on the pay-per-view, what would you rate it out of 5 stars, the Meltzer rating?
Ooh, I'll go like a 2.5. 2.5.
Yeah,
I'll agree.
Yeah, you see, Zach, I probably go with like a 2. I mean, maybe a 1. I go with a 1.5 because everybody look like a dumbass at the end of it. I mean, everybody looks like real stupid afterwards. Like,
and that's mainly it right there.
And I mean, and Eric did Oscar's face perfectly when he was, how shocked he was going down.
Right. I give Liv credit. She sold it at the end because she was crying. Like, how did I let this happen?
Yeah.
Oh man. All right.
Nikki was crying too.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. With that match out of the way, we get to the next match on the show. AJ and Omos, the Raw Tag Team Champions, taking on the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, for these tag team titles. Now they've had back and forth matches, singles matches in the past few Raws. Now we get the final match here. Eventually, obviously, this all seems like AJ and Omos are leading to bigger and better things when it comes to their SummerSlam route. Maybe RK Bro, something like that. But the match overall, I thought was a solid match. I think Omos looked a little bit better out there. I just thought AJ was just tremendous at everything he was doing, with the selling of everything, all his moves. He was just taking a beating in this match from the Viking Raiders, obviously to set up for Omos to come in and kind of save the day and show off those feats of strength. But I kick it over to Zach. What you think about this match?
It was better than I thought it was going to be. This is the match that's supposed to be tomorrow night on Raw, but since they bumped the women's to SmackDown, it took the spot instead.
Yep.
Again, AJ selling. We're seeing new talents on a pay-per-view. That's a plus. Good spots from all guys in here. It felt like it should have been on Raw.
I agree. Like, it didn't feel like it warranted this pay-per-view spot. Yeah. What about you, Eric?
it's such a weird match because AJ again, tremendous selling.
Yeah.
Viking Raiders, tremendous performance. Omos is getting slightly better. But yeah, I agree with Zach. I think they had too much time. I think they gave it way too much time. I would not have given it that much, but put it on Raw.
What about you, Knock? You have the same sentiments about it should have been on Raw, like it was supposed
Of course
to be?
not, man. This is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, man. Greatest wrestler of
Love
all
it.
time.
Love it.
First of all, for me, it's hard to gauge almost as getting better because we haven't really seen him wrestle. I don't know if they're letting him wrestle more, or if he actually is getting better. It's just hard for me to gauge that. But he looked good in here. He looked solid. I love the spot where he tossed AJ out the ring to the Hurricanrana. That was beautiful. Spot of the match, of course. I wasn't really feeling this. Maybe it's the bill. It felt like a throwaway match. But of course, AJ Styles, phenomenal one man. Shout out to him. Shout out to the boys. But went a little too
for all
long.
we know, Omos has been wrestling on Dark, and we just don't know.
That is true. Yeah, we just don't know it. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Now, there's one spot in the match that I just want to give credit to AJ Styles in terms of his selling. It's when I think it was Eric had him by the waist and was kind of holding him, and Ivar was jumping off the rope to kind of hit him, and then they were going to put him in the German suplex afterwards. The way he looked while he was being held just looked like a big sack of shit there, like just kind of I mean, because he's getting his ass beat the entire time. It's just like the little tiny nuance and little small things that he does makes him so good. But the fact that he was just kind of just there, kind of just like a fish out of water, kind of just chilling like that. I thought it made sense in the moment, but a little nitpicky thing there. All right, so let's get to the chat really quick. Nubinco, it's interesting take by Nubinco. I'm glad that Nikki ASH won. So what's next for the rest of the women of Raw and SmackDown? What do you guys got to say about that one? He's a fan of the outcome. I
can't wait till we get to the Women of Raw match. I got a lot to say about that. But yeah, it's good at Nikki. I can see your point about Nikki winning. They can have some fun with that, but I just don't think she'll follow through and win the belt. So that's my only thing.
True. What do you guys think?
It's new. It's different. You just need to show something other than the Hurricane stuff. You got to give it to us to believe.
Yeah.
It can't just be such a carbon copy of all that stuff. Like it has to be kind of a little bit different, a little bit more meat on the bone. Martin Carew, did we see a 44-year-old AJ Styles do a Hurricanrana from the inside to the outside of the ring with the help of Omos? But yeah, he did it, man. I mean, the guy is like ageless at this point.
Yeah. He's still young. Don't hurt on that age.
That is true. I mean, technically young, yeah. More AJ makes every match better. Don't care what anybody says. It's true. True story. More AJ. I mean, you can't get enough of AJ sometimes.
Not at all.
I'll kick it over to Zach. What are you going to rate this one out of 5 stars?
I'll give it a 2.5. Again, those nice spots, but it wasn't anything that I'm going to remember next pay-per-view.
True. I would agree with you. Knock, what about you?
I mean, AJ was in the match. Can we get 5 stars?
That's true.
For real, it's probably like a 2. That's one thing I remember. Just literally AJ selling and AJ's big spot. So I think he literally carried the match. Honestly, I don't remember anything the Viking Raiders did besides AJ selling. There was another moment I want to touch on real quick. He almost hit his head and he ducked real quick, and it was like on a spot Eric was doing. So just nuances like that, man. Great selling.
Yeah, I think that was the movie they called the Viking Experience.
Yes, that's what it was.
I saw that same thing. Yeah, like I looked at it like the replay, and I was like, he almost broke his neck if he wouldn't have just moved in. Yeah, you're right. It's that little stuff that he does that he's like when he saved James Ellsworth's life. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that he just does. What about you, Eric? What you think about this match out of 5 stars?
Probably a 2. It didn't fail. It just was awkward match, awkward spot. And plus, I'm always gonna say the New Day. So far they've been the best opponents for Omos. They actually make him look like he can wrestle. I didn't see that here. He's getting better, but he's still not there.
Yes. I didn't enjoy the spot either when he grabbed Eric from the apron and threw him to break the pin. That was kind of corny.
I mentioned on the live stream that if you watch it, he doesn't even like reach out for him. The dude has to get right in his face for him to do it. It's so weird. Inexperienced, but I'd give it I give it a 2.5 as well. Cause I just I'm just a mark for AJ, so everything he does is just kind of like probably overrated. If I had to say.
Don't blame you.
That's fair.
Yeah. So all right. So the next thing we had here was the WWE Championship match. Kofi Kingston versus the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley. It was an interesting one because we saw the flipping of the switch, the flipping of the character on Monday Night Raw when it came to Bobby Lashley. He was all about the women, all about the VIP lounge, the partying, all that stuff, the expensive suits. Then he loses to Xavier Woods on a fluky roll-up, changes the character completely back to like the vicious almighty destroyer of worlds at the end of the show. And then we get this match. Now, obviously, we've all heard the rumors. Me and Jonesy talked about it yesterday on the episode 2 of the Wrestling Report. And it's Goldberg. Goldberg is coming. He's probably going to show up tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. So everybody rejoice and enjoy the fact that you'll be blessed with the presence of Goldberg tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Now, with that out of the way, we got this match. And obviously, this match was just set up to make Bobby Lashley look like the absolute monster he looked like before the whole VIP lounge and the breaking up of the Hurt Business, all that stuff. And that's what we got here. It was an absolute squash. I did like the way they started off the match. Started off hot. Especially the quick pin attempts, one by Kofi there as well. But after that, it was pretty much all Bobby Lashley just destroying the living hell out of Kofi. I do think there was a missed opportunity, but I'll touch on that after you guys give your opinions on it. I'll start with Eric first.
You pretty much nailed the nail on the head, man. That this match was to put Bobby Lashley over, make him look stronger. That's the point of the Raw segment where he just said, "I'm done with the champagne and the women." I mean, I don't want to give it anything. I don't want to give it anything below a 3 because it did the job. Like, that was, they set out for a mission and that was achieved. But I don't know. I don't know if I like the match personally, but they had an objective. They accomplished it. Can't be mad at that.
That is true. When you're on top of your profession, I would have to say abstinence is probably the best form of keeping that position, because, you know, obviously you learn here, once you get all the women out of the way, you kind of focus up a little bit more and you're dominant once again. But I'll kick it over to Knock. What do you think about this match?
All right, start off with the match. You put Bobby and Kofi in a match together. I'm not going to care about the outcome because I'll be happy with whoever wins.
Yeah.
But for Bobby to go out there and look dominant, man, I enjoyed it. When he was slamming Kofi over and over, you can even see the crowd getting into it, man. I enjoyed looking at it, and he was reacting to it. I think a lot of times with Bobby, what his issue was, he was like a little robotic. He didn't really react to things. I think he's starting to react to things more. He made him look good with Kofi. And I got to me the Goldberg nonsense. Who cares about Goldberg? Did he help Braun Strowman? Did he help Drew McIntyre? Does anybody remember that? So unless Bobby Lashley taps out Goldberg with the Hurt Lock, why even do the match? It needs to be a complete domination like he did here with Kofi, or I don't even want to see it.
You make a lot of valid points there. Now, all right, so Goldberg, yeah, I mean, that guy, you either like, well, there's 3 ways you could obviously feel about him. You hate him, you like him, or you're kind of indifferent about him. I tend to be more indifferent about Goldberg. I don't think he has a shot at winning. Now, will you have him lose a title match twice in a calendar year? That's an interesting thing. Right there. Oh, I'm sorry, no, twice in was it a calendar year? Yeah,
it's been a calendar.
Yeah, it's been a calendar year.
You know, see, that's the point.
I wasn't sure. I was like, all right, so when they have fans there when they did it, but like, do you have him lose twice in a calendar year for the world title like that? It's Goldberg. I mean, you still have the name value and all that stuff. You have him lose. Lashley gains a lot from it. Goldberg doesn't really gain much. He just gains more hate if he does win that match. It's an interesting thing though, is how you work that. Here he destroys him. He takes him apart. But I understand what you're saying about him reacting a bit more to the crowd, especially when he went like when everybody to sush. Yeah. I thought it was a good spot right there. But what do you think about the match, Zach?
It story-wise, it served its purpose. Like I'm a writer. I pay attention to that big time. I'm fine with it. It's just they should have done it differently. Kofi beat. Am I wrong here? He beat Drew and Bobby in one night.
Yes,
on Raw.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, wrong way to do it with Kofi. They should have almost had Kofi be like, "See how easy it is. Switch it." This should have been Xavier Woods in this spot, and it would have worked better for me just because it is going to be Goldberg. If the swerve is they actually have Brock, I'm fine with it because they can even get on the mic and Brock can be like, it took you this long to beat Kofi? I did it in 5 seconds. Like it makes more sense if they got Brock. If it is Goldberg, again, this should have been Xavier in this spot.
I understand what you're saying there. It is true because Brock obviously has more credibility than Goldberg does in that aspect of being a dominant just monster. So it makes a ton of sense. And then you have that story built into it with Kofi, him beating Kofi for the title on the first SmackDown on Fox in 5 seconds, and him taking a little bit longer to beat him because it's more like he wanted the match to last longer too. In terms of what it's there to do, it did what it was supposed to. You're setting up for, I guess, Goldberg, the monster Goldberg, so you want to make him look super strong. Now, the missed opportunity I was talking about before was I think they should have had with who we saw win Money in the Bank. Now, it may have tipped the hat as to who was going to win Money in the Bank before the match actually happened, but I thought the New Day should have came out and checked on Xavier after the destruction of him there, and you could have had a little bit of a solid, camera work from WWE as you see kind of Lashley kind of stare down Big E, and Big E stares back at him. So you just tease it a little tiny bit. It does tip the hat a little bit that Big E would go on to win it because the match took place before. Yeah. But I think it would actually kind of lend more credence to like the fact that we all know this is kind of coming probably. But the little bit of a nod right there, I think would have made more sense.
I think the fact that they didn't do that is why it's actually going to happen.
Because they didn't want to show it like that. They just wanted like to. Okay.
Yeah, because I think they think the internet's not smart yet, and they don't know. Like we don't know it's in the books, but it probably is in the books for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like it, like for me, I always like that kind of stuff where they do those subtle little hints to other things, and I just you know, little things like that where they end up setting up for the other stuff. But this is an interesting comment from Martin Carrillo here. Lashley killed Kofi Mania in front of a live audience. That's all I got to say about that.
Ooh.
I think he gets more sympathy, Kofi, out of this. To be honest with you, just like he got a lot of sympathy after the way he lost to Brock Lesnar.
I just like
he gets more sympathy here. He doesn't get sympathy for that Brock Lesnar stuff. That was just nonsense, man. They didn't even care about the title. That made me heated.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to this next one. It still sucks they had to do Kofi like that. It's from Eric. Now, are you guys are upset that Kofi got taken out like this?
It's the wrong guy, and the build just didn't work on Raw. Again, it makes sense for Lashley, not for Kofi.
Yeah.
Maybe if this wasn't his first time going back after the belt, and he got dominated by Brock, now he got dominated by Lashley, makes it hard for him to go back after the belt again. Maybe that's what it is. But I wasn't that upset this time.
Yeah, I wasn't that upset either, but you're right about that. Like, can he really go for the belt again after this? That's right. The only problem. You kind of killed a future title match later on down the road.
Yeah.
But maybe do you think the reason they're bringing back Goldberg is maybe to eventually set up Riddle Goldberg with the issues they've had on social media and stuff?
Ooh.
I would just do it, not set it up like this.
Makes sense. I mean, it's a stadium show, right? They have the stadium show, and again, they feel like they have nobody on Monday Night Raw that warrants that level of exposure and that stage to be on a Saturday, Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, and be there at one of the marquee matches. I think that's what it is. I don't think they see Kofi that way unless it's organically happening like how it happened at WrestleMania. They haven't built anybody else. I mean, they had Drew McIntyre, but you can't go to that well again because they've had the matches so many times. So it's kind of like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't think, because who else would you have put in the spot?
Yeah, right. I feel like you moved mountains to get Cena for Roman, man. Can we get Lashley the same treatment? Can we get him Brock Lesnar? Can we get the match we want to see? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like he's getting the short end of the stick with this.
Especially Lesnar with a ponytail, man. That's like
exactly, man. Get her Carmen beat up.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so I can get over to Zach. Out of 5 stars, will you give Kofi versus Bobby?
I'll give it a 2. It wasn't a match. This stuff isn't really enjoyable to me. Good storytelling for Bobby, though. Yeah, a 2.
You go, Eric. What about you?
Subjectively, I wasn't a huge fan of the match, like personally, but like I said, they accomplished their objective. So I'll give them a solid 3, a C for doing their job. Advance the storyline.
Here you go. What about you, Knock?
I think I'll split in difference. I'll go 2.5 because, yeah, I mean, it wasn't the greatest of matches, but it served its purpose, and I actually had enjoyment watching. It wasn't like bored watching, so I'll go 2.5.
There you go. I'm gonna give it a 3 because I love to see a motherfucker get beat up, and that's what we got here. I'm always down with that type of stuff. So, all right, so let's get into the next match here, and that's Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for that Raw Women's title, a match we've seen many times, and we got it again here. Now, I'll preface this with saying that obviously the report was, and obviously it was confirmed that Becky Lynch was going to be backstage at Money in the Bank. I hate when they kind of do this stuff when they announce it beforehand, because I think it ruins the surprise. But with her not coming out, I don't think there wasn't any surprise anyway, so it's fine. But I think it hurts the match in terms of fan engagement because they're chanting they want Becky because they know she's there. So I think it hurts the 2 women wrestling in the ring because you announced that. So obviously they know that they're going to be asking for her. Now, I did think WWE trolled us with the way they had Charlotte stand in the ring so long, asking for somebody to open the rope for her, and then she raised the title up, and then it cuts to black. And I feel like Kevin Dunn was trolling the living shit out of us there because we were all expecting for her music to hit and for Becky to come out. We didn't get that. The match itself, I thought it was the best match they've had personally. And Flair gets to win on a tap out. I like the spot where she puts, Rhea's leg inside the steel step, kicks it, and puts the figure 8 with like a massive arch on that bridge of the figure 8, and she gets the win. Whether you like Charlotte Flair or not, she's got another title reign, number 14. She's always gonna be in this spot. I mean, it's just inevitable. And I assume they give her this belt because for SummerSlam, they probably want to run maybe a triple threat or have her face Becky Lynch, because why else would Becky Lynch be announced that she's going to be backstage if she's not going to come back sometime soon? But I'll let Eric start first on this one.
I'm torn with this match, man, because Rhea's a rising star. She never really got her justice against Charlotte. I don't think she's won clean. So seeing her tap out clean like that, it tears me. But this was definitely a hard-hitting match. Second favorite match of the night. They should both go home happy, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think anything on Money in the Bank really connected with me the way it should have. So even if this was like a good match, I didn't get the most enjoyment out of it.
I get what you're saying there. What about you, Zach?
I really, really like this match. I really, really did. I liked it way more than I thought I was going to. I love the hard hitting. These two women are fucking yoked. They are in great condition. This is such a great match. And then the ending. If you do this with Becky at SummerSlam, you could have done this with Rhea at SummerSlam. Charlotte doesn't need a belt. You can build a bigger match for Mania between Becky and Charlotte. This was way too soon to give Charlotte a belt back, and the ending kind of soured me on a really great match.
I agree. She doesn't need a belt. I'm not a person that really, like dislikes Charlotte. I'm cool with her being there. I mean, she has the pedigree. She's there for obviously a reason.
I love her.
I'm not one of those guys. A lot of people do. They just hate her. Like they can't stand her. Oh, she's there because her family. I mean, it happens to a lot of people, to be honest with you. I mean, your second, third generation sometimes that's like part of the shtick. I mean, it's just part of it. Especially when you take the name and you have your family members out there all the time. I mean, if you say that, I mean, look at all the Anoa'i family. They probably get the same treatment. I mean, this is like royalty. That's wrestling royalty. I mean, they get all the same treatment. It's just the way it is. Because those stories are built into it. I mean, you can make storylines off of that shit like for years to come. But what about you, Knock? What do you think?
Let me preface this by saying I think Charlotte's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like, just period, men or women. She's amazing, and she deserves to be where she is. Why? We always say, like, okay, so Becky Lynch, before she became the man, she lost to Charlotte when we show she should have won. Asuka lost to Charlotte twice, tapping out when she should have won. Now Rhea. If we didn't see a Rhea lose to Mania, tapping out to Charlotte, why is she tapping out again? The match itself was amazing. I thought they were going for 5 stars. Hard hitting, the elbows. Charlotte throwing Rhea's head into the post. The little flip up where Rhea flipped up Charlotte and put her into the suplex. I thought they were creative. I thought they were in sync, and it was hard hitting. And then you go to the ending where you're trying to build up Rhea to be the star. She's the nightmare, Miss Brutality, and all this type of stuff. And she just taps out to Charlotte again. She can't beat her. I don't understand why you do this. I feel like they don't know what they're doing. I feel like we always see this, and it's not Charlotte's fault. They just don't know how to book. They know how to book Rhea, first of all. They know how to book baby faces.
Yeah.
And this should not have ended this way, especially if Rhea couldn't get a win, like, at all.
It makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. I love the spot you're talking about where she throws her head against the post. I love the sell by Rhea on there as well, where she kind of just limp body and just held by one arm. That was good stuff from her. Real quick, let's get to the chat. Mark Carrillo says, why was the crowd so quiet during the beginning? And then 10 minutes later, they were into the matches. Same to the Reigns match. That is true. They were kind of quiet in the beginning of the matches and then got into them later on.
It's because the matches got better later on. We've seen this on Raw. We've seen this week build on Raw for this women's match. It took a lot of selling to get the crowd into it. Even for myself, it's like, you better deliver to get me into this, and they did.
Yeah,
that's true. That makes sense. It's probably what played into it there. Eric, match was pretty good for the crappy build it had.
Exactly.
They've had this. This has been a little bit of a trend for WWE, especially like WrestleMania and stuff like that. The builds to the pay-per-views have been pretty garbage for the most part, but the pay-per-views have excelled and they've overachieved compared to the builds that they've had. So, I mean, well done on their part. Mark Carrillo, poor Rhea, she will never redeem her loss from last year, and the potential she had is slowly going away. But will Charlotte help the women's division by holding the title? What do you guys have to say about that one?
I mean, you can never go wrong with Charlotte. Even if you don't think she's belongs there storyline wise, you put her anywhere, she's going to make it an amazing match. So yes, she will help it, but you need to have. I'm going to talk about TNA. When AJ Styles was big, he had no one to fight. There was no one else that was built up to his level. Roman, there's no one else that's built to his level, so you got to bring in other guys. So you have to build up other people to have Charlotte to have these rivalries. So yes, she will help, but you got to start building people up so she can have like these great matches and great storylines with other people.
True. You guys have anything to add?
No, that's exactly it. You can keep bringing up Tegan Nox, all these people from NXT, but if you're going to ruin them, what's the point?
Yeah.
Not that they haven't ruined Tegan Nox on them yet, but, exactly.
They're getting there.
They are, yeah. Noob and Co. Good match between Charlotte and Rhea, but I don't know if we're getting a rematch between Rhea and Charlotte. We don't want a rematch between Becky and Charlotte. We've seen that throughout 2018. I mean, Raw's repeat city regardless. It's like Groundhog's Day. I think you're gonna get it regardless. I don't think
Yeah,
it's like it's like, so when I was younger, I collected GI Joes, but I didn't have that many, so I had to pretend other GI Joes that I had were other GI Joes. So they're just using the same GI Joes to pretend that they're other GI Joes. So you're seeing the same matches left and right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah. Noob and Co. We should have got Asuka and Charlotte at WrestleMania 37. It was there until Rhea showed up and ruined it.
Damn.
I don't know what to say that. Damn.
Yeah.
It's a hot take for Noob and Co. there, man.
It is.
Yeah, I don't think she ruined it. I mean, Asuka Charlotte, it's just like we gotten that match so many times before. It's like for it to have it at a Mania. It wasn't probably the best. Is what it is.
Right.
Martin, did you see Charlotte flip off the crowd and WWE putting a black screen? Also, none of them felt like a face.
Yeah.
Yep. That was great.
I thought Malachi was making an appearance.
I like how like they put the black screen when she does that. But remember the time Vince McMahon did that shit like this? Like he had his hand and he was covering it like that. When you see it like perfectly on screen.
That's old school.
A lot of shit.
Yeah, it's just funny stuff. Noob and Co. Hopefully we'll get that WrestleMania 34 match between Asuka and Charlotte at SummerSlam this year because it was a storyline they had earlier this year.
Yeah.
Which I think it was the match that Asuka probably should have won.
Yeah.
That's a match. Yeah.
That's another person that should have got a win.
Martin Career, the crowd wasn't deciding who to cheer, to be honest.
Because
it's a good thing sometimes. Yeah, true.
I mean, you get a lot of back and forth chants, but to be honest, it's like mostly because of the Thunderdome era. They don't really know who to cheer and who not to cheer. Like they just kind of it's a different vibe at this point.
Yeah, that's what confused me about the Bobby Lashley match too. Is like people were saying like one more time to slam Kofi. Like fuckers, like, this is Kofi Kingston to do that. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I just Texas, feel like
I feel like everybody just wanted to troll and kind of just act up because they hadn't been there in a while. Always Talk Wrestling. I thoroughly enjoyed. Really liked the pay-per-view. Peacock crashing messed it up.
Oh my gosh,
definitely. But I love the show. The Cena return was freaking awesome.
Always Talk Wrestling. I was going to thank you for being a part of our show earlier, but
thank you for being part of our show, sir. Cena was awesome.
Oh man, what about this one? Charlotte versus Becky, 2 out of 3 falls.
I don't mind that.
Hell, maybe or something like that. Yeah.
I don't mind that, but I always thought Charlotte carried those matches with Becky. I think you got to have Rhea in there to redeem her. Like, if you keep Rhea off this card, then what was the point of building her up at Mania?
Right.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. The crowd was awesome. Always Talk Wrestling. Also, great stream from West Coast Pop.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, look, Martin Carrillo is one of the lucky ones. Good, I got the network still.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
So jealous. Let us know how the next table for 3 is.
There you go. All right, so guys, let me know what out of 5, what would you rate this women's title match? Start with Zach.
I'm going to give this a 4.2. I really love this. I wish more matches for women were like this. This was so hard hitting. Last match I've seen like this in a while was Britt and Thunder Rosa, but that was, it had a gimmick attached to it. But that's what I want to see. I want to see brutality and Miss Brutality. If you are Miss Brutality dressing like that, like you got all of Judas Priest's albums, would you not love the pain? Why would you tap out?
That is true. That's actually a good point. I mean, there's too much continuity there. Like, to be honest with you, the WWE's like, we're not touching that.
Too much logic.
Yeah. What about you, Eric? What would you rate out of 5?
Okay, so I gave Lashley and Kofi a 3 because I wasn't like a huge fan of the match, but I liked that they did the objective.
Yep.
I'm gonna flip it. I'm giving this a 3.0 too because the match was good. The build-up was shit. I don't know what the objective was here. I guess it was like the SummerSlam match, like we've said, but I don't know if that was worth it. So I'm sticking with 3.0.
There you go. What about you, Knock?
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Charlotte, but the way you do that, have Rhea tap out twice when you're trying to build her up, it makes no sense. I'll give it a 4. The match was awesome. I think at this point in time, it was my match of the night until we got later on. But yeah, 4.0, just terrible ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I give it like a 3.75, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a couple things. Like I think the thing that sours it is the way they trolled us at the end with not Becky coming out and nothing like that. That's just a troll job and a half. I mean, the fact that they had her stand there and like, yo, somebody come in, hold these ropes, and somebody took forever to open the ropes up for her. I thought it was just, I feel like, you know, like you're kind of like waiting for it.
My wardrobe is laid out for me for a reason.
There you go.
And they decided to cut to an Applebee's commercial.
There you go.
Right. And secondly, on that Applebee's commercial, before we get to Eric, I'm sorry to cut you off. Yep. Why is Corbin even having money to do this? Foreshadow your commercials with your storylines, people.
No continuity, man. I'll tell you, there's none of it there.
Oh man,
this is an interesting comment, man. For real, this is really interesting. Always talk wrestling. Cena return. That out of 10. What is that?
100,000.
100,000 out of 10.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
You're underselling it, buddy.
You're underselling it by a tad.
Exactly.
Always talk wrestling. Rhea versus Charlotte was awesome. Didn't want Charlotte to win, but it was awesome. Yeah, I would agree. I agree. I mean, I don't think she should have won either, but you know, it is what it is. Mark Hero, sorry guys, I'm not living those Peacock days yet. I mean, you're one of the lucky ones, man. One of the lucky ones.
Enjoy the network.
Probably not for long though, because I'm assuming sooner or later something's gonna happen. It's like everybody's stuck with Peacock. Okay, we're always talk wrestling. Best show of 2021, in my opinion.
Wait, you were bashing it on our stream. What are you talking about? Oh, man.
That's true.
Mark Hero, lucky 3.75 in my opinion. For this match. Lubinko 3.5 because the ending, as always, Charlotte made people tap out with an OP finisher, overpowered finisher.
It is protected.
Yeah.
Very protected.
It is. I don't even think I mean, Deanna's like her dad didn't even get that many tap outs with that shit. You know, no. She gets, always talk wrestling. When Roman picked the mic, I was literally yelling, "Cena, return, please!" And when I heard his theme, I popped hard because I basically lost my voice.
Solid knock.
we ain't gonna talk about that, man. It was fun though.
Just glad you can still type. Always talk wrestling.
All right, let's get to the next match on the show. It was the men's Money in the Bank. Now, this one is an interesting one because for me and Zach, we missed majority of it because of the shitty ass Peacock app streaming service kept cutting in and out nonstop. It was absolutely just horrible. The entrance for me, the entrances were the worst. I saw some of the ending of the match, but the entrances were just the worst. The cutting in and off. I couldn't see anybody's entrance. I couldn't see even the guitar playing in the backstage. I think they were doing. I think Rick Boogs did Randy Orton's music, right? I think that's what happened. Shinsuke. Yeah, right. Okay. So, all right. So I'm not even gonna like really touch on this match too much because obviously I missed a lot of it. Now at the end, I was kind of like, where the hell was McIntyre? Even though I missed majority of the match because it was all cut off.
Yeah.
But in the end, Big E hits the big ending off of the ladder on Seth Rollins, and he's Mr. Money in the Bank. So this is why I kind of felt like they should have had him and the New Day be out there for the Bobby Lashley after the aftermath of that. But shout out to Big Langston. I mean, Big Langston is Mr. Money in the Bank. I mean, I predicted he was going to win. So, you know, not too many horns there. But it is what it is. Now, it was either between him and Riddle for me because they only seem like the two most viable people to actually kind of win this. You obviously know majority of these guys, Ricochet, Morrison, they were in there for the big spots. Owens got powerbombed through a ladder. Those ladders seem to look more and more fragile every single event we see them in. People go through them super easy now, but from what I saw, I guess it was a good match, but I kick it over to Eric because you saw majority of the match, right?
Yeah. Good match. So this is my match of the night. Only problem I had with it was at some point I forgot Big E was in it, and in the beginning I forgot Drew McIntyre was in it. They both kind of disappear. Yes. But obviously Big E winning, that's a huge ass moment. That's great. I'm gonna look back at YouTube videos of him holding that briefcase for a good while. That's a feel good moment. Ricochet. I'm gonna leave that for Knock because I know that's Knock's favorite spot of the night. But everyone showed up. John Morrison doing a flipping elbow, him working with Seth. Cool. It was a good match. My favorite match of the night. All
right. What about you, Zach? Even though you didn't see any of it.
I didn't get to see anything. Thankfully, I didn't get to see the Jack Black ripoff Boogs. Let me just put this in here for your commenters. If I can get up to 5 people to comment John Cena sucks, I will rewatch this match tonight.
There you go. I mean, that's the gauntlet's been laid out. If you guys can say John Cena sucks, 5 different people, right? It can't be the same person.
5 people.
I so I want to understand this. You want to make 5 people do work so you can rewatch a good match.
It's called heel work.
Well, it's a good match. A good match you didn't get to see though.
Yeah.
I'm making people work.
Don't slander Johnson's name for this man. Let him never see it.
Slander, motherfucker.
Man.
What about you, Knock? What do you think about this match? Because since you were able to see it, yeah.
I was able to see it luckily, and jokes on Zach, man, because those Peacock rewatches are even worse. But this match was awesome. 5 out of 5 stars for me. I'm gonna go and say it right now. Ricochet walking the ropes like he's Ray Phoenix. When he got pushed off the ladder onto the ropes, his form was perfection on that swanton outside the ring. John Morrison doing his parkour elbow drop. First time WWE, he's been hitting it on TNA Impact. First time WWE on the ladder. Shinsuke Nakamura and Matt Riddle have such chemistry. They were smooth, striking each other, dodging. It was nice. I forgot Drew McIntyre was in the match for the beginning, and I'm glad they went the route of him going after it. I did call us on stream. Jinder Mahal came out there with his guys, beat the fuck out of him with a chair, man. Dragged it backstage. That was the best thing to happen for Drew because he could not have won this match. It would not have been good for him. Yeah. And then at the end of the match, KO taking spots, Seth Rollins taking spots. The drip team of Seth Rollins and John Morrison was dope. At the end of the match, it felt like when you play SmackDown vs. Raw, one of those games when your health is on red and you can't get up anymore. That happened to Kevin Owens. Everyone was getting beat up. Big E, man, I was so happy when he won. Shout out to Big E. He's gonna get the world title. This is the difference between. I can't even talk anymore. This is the difference between Big E and Nikki Ash. I don't think Nikki ASH is gonna win the belt. Big E, he's winning that world title, man. It's coming to home. He's got that title. So shout out to great match. I'm sorry, man, but damn, I was excited.
Now I wish I would have been able to see the whole Jinder beating up Drew. I mean,
yeah,
like, I wish I would have been able to see that because that's what we're getting, right? Jinder versus Drew at SummerSlam. Now, are we all in agreement that the plan seemingly is that Big E gets his contract and he's either going to be traded before the draft or drafted to Monday Night Raw?
Oh yeah,
he's going to Raw for sure. Yeah. I see that.
He's going.
He's not beating Roman. We said that earlier. He's going to go after Bobby and take the belt.
I feel like generally speaking, like all these new day guys, whether they're cool with it or not, they're kind of attached at the hip for the rest of their careers. I think
they have to be.
They need to all be together in some form or another. So I think he needs to go over there and even not even always be with them, but the fact that they're on the same show and they'll do stuff together from time to time, backstage stuff, I think it'll help him. And I think it's just the way. The nature of the beast. I feel like the three of them are just attached at the hip for the rest of the career, and they're always kind of going to be together for the most part, and they're all going to succeed when they're all together. Because you see, like his build on SmackDown's been it was okay to start. It seemed like promising, but then it just kind of fell off. And I think he'll just go to Raw, get rejuvenated, and then hopefully take that title off of Bobby Lashley, and it'll be pretty cool stuff. Let's get to Always Talk Wrestling. The matches were good though, and the ending was awesome.
Yeah.
Talking about the pay-per-view. Mark Carrillo, Charlotte is the most protected woman in all of sports entertainment.
Technically, Tessa never lost that Impact World Championship. She just she just kept it until they said give it back.
That is true. Yeah. Oh man. She could be doing wasn't it Curtis Axel who didn't get eliminated from a Royal Rumble and was running gimmick for a while? She could be doing the same thing with that title. Yeah, the longest reigning Impact champion. Always Talk Wrestling. I'm really happy John Cena's back. I mean, he's doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on this. Zach, what do you think? No comment. All right, cool. Always Talk Wrestling. Big E deserved the win. Yeah, Big Langston, man. Big Langston deserved this win. Jesse Paris, stay tuned for the 700th review episode of J Dude's Reviews. Check that one out. Go ahead. Always Talk Wrestling. Peacock cut for me during the start of the Romans match. I got
a good chunk of it.
Yeah, I got lucky. Like for me, it was just this match for some reason. Like Peacock just did not want me to see this one match.
And I just read online here, it is Peacock. WWE had nothing to do with it. They were actually still advertising for Peacock on Twitter as it was happening because they weren't aware because it is Peacock and they probably didn't communicate.
Yes, and they suck too. Also, Peacock is just trash.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So Always Talk Wrestling. I think having Jinder take Drew was fantastic. In terms of storyline, I mean, it makes sense. It adds something to a feud that was kind of just started because one guy didn't text back 3 days. It took a guy 3 days. Text back. That's how it started,
That's
right?
hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, I wanted to come ride my motorcycle with me, but he took 3 days to respond. And the fact that he used the number 2 instead of the word 2 is another thing. Always Talk Wrestling. SummerSlam looks stacked. Maybe best pay-per-view of all time.
Oh man,
I don't know.
See,
it's right there.
if you go on Peacock and review some of the old pay-per-views, you might change your tune.
I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be really, really good. Seemingly the rumored card seems pretty stacked. It's got to be like it has to be at least hyped or give the illusion that it could be a greatest pay-per-view of all time with the way they're putting it on a Saturday in that stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, when John Cena walks out with a championship, then we'll call it the greatest of all time.
Man, that's gonna be
Turn
a
your
rough
mic
one.
off.
Martin Carrillo, since I got to see it with no problems, the match felt action ready since the start. Morrison stole the spotlight, in my opinion.
Ooh, him or Ricochet? It was very close between those two.
Oh, explain to me this too. What's up with Ricochet changing from the jeans to these little tights?
He used to change back because that was not the look.
He's not. I honestly think he looks better with long pants. Like some guys, like Jericho, to me looks better with long pants than trunks. And Ricochet's one of those guys. Like, he just looks better. I don't know. He looks cooler with pants instead of trunks. Yeah. For some reason.
Zach, did you touch on this? The reason why he did that, or
no? I said that. So he on Instagram, he said the reason that he wore the black pants was because he was trying to, like, in New Japan, they just give him black trunks to wear when you're starting out. So he was like, "This is me." Focusing on being in the ring, no gimmick, no personality, nothing, just focusing. Which I said, why? Like you can wrestle. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Just be flashy.
And Eric is the one who pays attention to men's fashions. I'm the one who pays attention to their undies.
There you go.
And Anthony pays attention to their packages.
That is true. I mean, going back to Hangman Adam Page. I mean, the guy did. Well, I ain't gonna lie, man. He was filling them jeans out. All right, like. You gotta give credit where credit.
You gotta give respect.
Yeah, you got to. You can't hate on a guy like because he's filling out his jeans nicely.
His poor wife.
Just because I can't doesn't mean like I gotta hate on him for not doing it. Always Talk Wrestling. I got 4 out of the 7 in predictions. What was your guys' scores on those predictions?
Ooh, I had the winning score. That's what it matters. I think I was like a 3. I think I got a 3 or something.
I think we you and I both got 3 only because we did the Roman Reigns tiebreaker. It was 3. Zach had 0.
Anthony, my bookings are so specifically awesome storytelling wise. Again, as I write, I try to shoot for the moon here when I make my predictions, because if they are correct, they are the best storytelling WWE could do. I mean, if these guys want to take the easier route and take the belts, that's fine with me.
It's basically just WWE that sucks so much. It's the reason why you're not getting the wins on that. Yeah, this is what it is. The storytelling is that bad. Always talk wrestling. I wasn't a fan of Nikki Rub Ash winning.
Oh gosh.
Ooh. Oh man.
He also says I forgot Riddle was in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. He had a nice moment with Shinsuke.
Yeah.
He had a few RKOs. Yeah.
Orton fans tomorrow. He's fine.
There you go. Yeah. Martin Carrillo, when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, my KO dream win, but Big E's a good thing.
I love the random Hulk Hogan.
Like I was reading it and I was like, is that Hulk Hogan?
Rio, you are putting that in our heads for the rest of the night.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. Always Talk Wrestling. I'm really happy Big E won. Maybe he joins the Hurt Business by betraying Kofi. Kofi versus Big E at SummerSlam. Big E wins with MVP's help at Survivor Series. MVP and Big E betray Bobby, and Big E wins. There's a lot going on there, but I mean, it's pretty interesting, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie, like it's pretty interesting.
It's decent.
Yeah, like,
it's better than what WWE's gonna do.
Yeah,
it is
100%.
It is pretty interesting. So let's break it down. So okay, so he joins Hurt Business by betraying Kofi. So that means like he comes to Raw and he betrays Kofi. Now he's part of the Hurt Business, but along this trio: MVP, Big E, and Bobby Lashley. Kofi takes on Big E at SummerSlam. Big E wins with MVP's help. But then at Survivor Series, so from August to November, he betrays Bobby, and then he has the match against Bobby. So that means MVP and Big E are a thing afterwards. It's kind of like taking out the leader of the Hurt Business, kind of just replacing him. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it kind of sounds like a TNA storyline, man. They do all these flip flops then too.
Men's Money in the Bank 4.25. So we're gonna get to that right now. What would you guys give it out of 5? I'll start with Zach. Well, Zach didn't even see it, but just make one up off of what everybody else
5. 5 out of 5.
You'd love to see it. What about you, Eric?
I don't know if it's all the bubbly I drank or what, but for some reason, nothing on the show hit with me as hard as everybody else. So because Big E went, I'm gonna bump it up to a 4.
4. There you go. What about you, Knock?
I'm gonna go 4.5. It's hard for me to give this match like a 5 stars because I mean, it's a gimmick match and it's all this type of stuff happening. But it's one of the best Money in the Banks I've seen in years. They finally did not waste the men's Money in the Bank that they've done since I don't know when. It's like 2016, 2015 or whatever. Last time Seth won, I think is the last time they had a good Money in the Bank winner. But shout out to Biggie and shout out to this match. Great match.
No, John Cena won after him.
All right, we're not going to talk about John Cena winning the belt. No. we're not going to count that.
I'm not gonna count that one. So there's a lot of John Cena talk going on, like way too much for anybody's comfort right now. Martin Carrillo, this ladder match was one of my faves. It was amazing with the crowd. Everyone got way over than they were before the match. 5 out of 5 is given the same as Zach. 5 out of 5. Always Talk Wrestling. WWE is at its peak in 2021. They're in the best position possible.
They have a show on Monday nights called Raw. I suggest you give it a watch.
Yeah, that took me a second to. I was like, wait, what? No.
Well, this is interesting because, like, I've been saying this. It seems like they've been biding their time on Monday Night Raw. Like, let's just throw Raw out there because we're gonna get fans. You think they're gonna ramp it up when they get the fans, like this upcoming Monday?
I believe so. I feel like they're gonna start trying. Like these past few shows, like SmackDown, like was paced well. I feel like they're trying now, so I think so. Zach will be the judge though, but I think so.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Zach.
He's the only one of the 3 guys who watches it, right?
Yeah. I'll take the highlights here and there, but I'm not watching Raw. I'll rather watch
I am DVR commercials. Like I'm old school, fucking getting tortured here. Anthony, you do the reviews. Maybe you can attest to what I'm talking about here with the guys. For the last couple of weeks, it seems like they're preparing for the fans the way they've been booking more people. It's a boring ass 3 hours, but it seems like they understand they need to put more talent on Raw. So let's hopefully get something better starting tomorrow night. But it does seem like they are aware that they need to kick it into overdrive. And yes, I 100% agree with you. They have been holding back, I think, purposely until fans. Yeah,
I agree with you as well. I think that's on point. That feels like what they've been doing anyways for the past few weeks. It hasn't been as repetitive and as like unbearable to watch. It's not saying that it's been good, but certain spots in it have been pretty well done, and it has been somewhat entertaining in points compared to Raw. Let's say just a month and a half ago, which was just atrocious. Like
so awful,
man. Like if you just shit. Martin Carrillo. Wow, everyone got so happy that Drew got beaten by the Indian motorcycle crew. Laughing my ass off.
Oh man, it needed to happen.
It needed now. I did like how he brought up in his promo beforehand how everybody loves Drew's storytelling. Remember, because he's been going on these big diatribes, and these big long Loch Ness monster stories, and just ridiculous shit that he's been saying.
Yeah.
So he played on that. So that was pretty funny. Noob and Co. Big E did it for Brody Lee.
That would be cool if he shows up with the Brody Lee something gear.
Well,
did he do a tribute? Did he do a tribute? I know he does settle things sometimes.
I'm not sure. Yeah, no.
I don't think so this time.
Speaking of gear, we forgot to talk about Kofi Kingston. The He-Man gear. It's just a Skeletor.
Man, I loved it.
Yeah, that was awesome stuff, man. I forgot you talked about that on Twitter, right? Like,
it'd be awesome if Xavier comes out with his hair down, dyed blonde, and as Prince Adam, I will lose my shit.
That'd be really cool.
That would have been pretty. That would be pretty cool if he does that tomorrow night. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Eric, can't be the best pay-per-view of all time if the whiff of Goldberg is anywhere around it.
Yes.
Talk about SummerSlam. So I mean, if he does, like, if you get exactly what you got from Kofi, but it's Goldberg now, I mean, I guess maybe people might be pretty souped about it.
Yeah.
Martin Carrillo, if you don't respond to Vince in an hour, you're getting a roll-up loss. Oh man. I always talk wrestling. I want to see Cena win the Universal title.
Oh my God.
Zach, did you hear that?
He'll break the record if he gets it.
He does now because it counts, right? Like in total championships, it counts.
It does.
Yeah. Always talk wrestling. Ricochet was actually really, really good.
He was. Hope he doesn't disappear.
I don't mind Ricochet attire. I do. I'm not a fan of it. I need long pants for this guy. Long pants.
Yeah.
Rock should return. He should. Man bun, ponytail, and all. Be cool stuff. He has a butcher gimmick. Maybe that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, change it up.
He's like a butcher now. I felt Liv and KO gave so much promos on winning the damn briefcase, and now it feels like it was a waste of time. KO, yes. Liv, I don't think so because she has more stuff she could do with Zelina Vega and Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
KO, where does he really go from here?
I give KO props because, like, I'm talking smack. He really made me believe he was going to win. So I like that he threw in, like, I just didn't know if it was going to be him or Big E.
True.
Yeah.
It's just be interesting how he gets booked going forward.
Yeah.
Always talk wrestling. I think Raw will be awesome, to be honest. Talking about when they get fans. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot better. I don't think it's gonna be beat SmackDown, but I think it'll be leaps and bounds better, at least to the point of it being watchable on a weekly basis.
Right.
Martin Carrillo. Fun fact: ever since 2018, the men's Money in the Bank has been cashed in on Raw main title. It's gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Always talk wrestling. SmackDown was good this week. It was a fun watch. It was. It felt like a really, really big show. Huge show.
It did.
Yeah. Like Paul White.
The biggest of big shows. Yep. Eric Ferrillo, that's my cousin Eric. Am I the only person that enjoyed last year's Money in the Bank and Race to the Top of the Building? Oh, Otis. I enjoyed it too. I liked it. I thought it was like it felt like like a game, like you were going through levels and trying to get to the top. Yeah, that's what it felt like. I thought it was cool.
It was a good one time. I liked it.
Yeah, it was cool. Do it one time. It was fun. Just I didn't like Otis winning because it was trash.
Fall off a building, show up on Raw next night. Yeah,
right.
That's
true. Me just making people look stupid.
Speaking of the Big Show, I mean that happened to him. He got thrown off a Cobo Hall by Hulk Hogan at Halloween Havoc, and he returned like literally like maybe like 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then him and the Yeti decided to kind of just Hulk Hogan, like Oh man. Always talk wrestling. Finally, a good wrestler wins Money in the Bank. The one time I love Jinder is when he attacked Drew. There you go. He's over with Always Talk Wrestling now. Oh yeah, I forgot he breaks the record. Talking about John Cena. Nubico, the one thing Asuka is lacking, have her ring gear inspired by anime or video games. That's how to connect with her fandom.
I'll say no to that because too many people do that. And I've talked about this on our show. I cannot stand any more Dragon Ball Z ring attire.
And I'll also say no because there's more of a Japanese culture than just anime and video games. So let her rep that.
True.
And I also say no because look at people going like, no offense to them, but like Bailey and Sasha will do throwbacks to their favorite wrestlers. They always look great, but I want people 10 years from now to be doing throwbacks to people like Asuka.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I got you. Always Talk Wrestling. I don't know why Liv didn't win like she was built up really to win.
That's how I feel about Zelina. Such an opportunity to take that belt off Bianca.
That is true. Yeah, I think she would have been a good person to get that because her promos and her stuff going leading afterwards. I think would have been well done. Yeah,
that'd been nice.
Yeah. Always Talk Wrestling. I like Kofi's Titantron. I didn't notice it.
I loved it. That was so it's like Kofi and Xavier player 1, player 2, and I never noticed it because I don't watch Raw because fuck Raw. But I guess whoever's a single competitor, it'll like choose the player and then like they go through a whole level. So that's really cool.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. That's smart.
Always Talk Wrestling. Lashley was booked in a great way. He destroyed Kofi. So Always Talk Wrestling is a fan about the way Lashley destroyed Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Martin Career. I really like the WWE bring up past accomplishments by every competitor. Thoughts?
Smart. They should do it more like with Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle. But
yeah, I like it. It's a good touch. Like you want to, like you did these moments, like you want to keep bringing them up and remembering them. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, why do them?
Exactly. That is true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a good thing to have out there. It adds like layers to the stuff too. But let's get to the final match of the show. And it is the Universal Championship match. Edge taking on Roman Reigns. Now, the match we all talked about, it started off slow. It was kind of like, it was working its way, but then it started to really ramp up. We got the involvement from the Usos, but they were thwarted by Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. And then we had Seth Rollins come out. When it seemed like, Roman Reigns was done and out for, he had that piece of the chair in his mouth, in the crossface. He comes in, super kicks the back of the head of Edge. And then the match still wasn't over at that point. Well, I thought it was, but it wasn't. It kept going. And then here comes Seth Rollins again with the distraction and then the spear from Roman Reigns. He gets the win, and Seth Rollins, Edge would brawl off into the locker room. And then you had Roman cutting a promo saying the whole world has to acknowledge him now. And then boom, the music hits. And here comes John Cena with an interesting hairdo, bit of thinning back here.
Looking like Manu Ginobili out there.
Yes,
hey, like Manu, man like that.
Yeah, he came out. He looks different. I mean, it's still John Cena. I think he had new merch. I think it was a new T-shirt, so that's probably gonna sell a lot. Yeah, so he came out and basically just stared down Roman Reigns. I like Reigns' reaction the entire time. He's like, "Fuck, man, you're here, dude, for real." Like that was his reaction when I saw his face. He's just like, "Come on, man, fuck, you're here."
Yeah.
So that's what it was. He was obviously no words were said, but he literally, walked up to Roman Reigns and "You can't see me," and then that was it. He celebrated, and that's it. And it seems like we're headed to SummerSlam. All roads lead there to SummerSlam. Roman Reigns, John Cena. And who takes the 3-second tan? I'll give it to Eric first. What you think about the match and what transpired afterwards?
All right, I'm gonna catch some heat for this one because besides AJ and Omos, this was my least favorite match. I feel like I had to sit through this match to get to the end. I need to go back and watch some Edge matches because Zach brought up a good point that I don't know. Maybe like this is a good old fashioned match, but I just was not into this. The spear into the barricade was cool. Edge doing the spear to Roman, that was cool. All the stuff at the end, the moments were great. The match itself, I felt like I was just sitting through it to get to the end. I don't know. I don't really have anything good to say about the match itself. It wasn't a bad performance by either one. It was just slow, and I didn't enjoy it.
Now, do you think that has to do with the 2 bottles that you drank?
You know what? Maybe I'm dehydrated. Maybe that's what it is. Because I don't know why. I didn't connect with anything in Money in the Bank, but this match didn't do it for me.
There you go. What about you, Zach? What do you think about this match?
I got the match, so that's why I liked it. It's not a match that's going to really resonate with me throughout the years, especially if you're going to do a really terrible ending, and I'm really going to forget about it. But as a match to tell a story, I think it works. It just suffers from wanting to tell a story, but also it's almost like a Marvel movie. It's going to tell a story, but you're going to get teased as to what's going to be next. So that kind of took it away from me. Cena, stupid bald ass bitch, coming out, ruined it for me. People cheering for Cena fucking ruined it for me. Eric and Knock fucking ruined it for me. Cheering for Cena. Always talked wrestling. Fucking to Cena ruined it for me. I need to go to Applebee's with Baron Corbin.
Oh man,
I love your Marvel Universe reference there, because you watch a Marvel movie, it's a movie, you're watching it, but they're always setting up for the next thing and the next part of the universe. That's what you got here. You're setting up, you're having this match, and eventually all you're doing is just setting up for SummerSlam. So you have these 2 guys veer off in 2 different feuds. Yeah, that's what you got of it. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. I like these kind of matches, slow pace. They kind of work their way. You get to the false finish parts, stuff like that. But you have it on a pay-per-view where you have 2 8-people ladder matches. You're kind of in a weird spot because you're expecting like big spots there, and you're having these big spots, and you have a match that's a little bit like more low key, I would have to say, other than a couple spots. But yeah, that's what I get out of it. But what about you, Knock?
Just a few things I want to touch on with this match. So yeah, when we were watching, I seen a few people say like, it's a slower match, and like they're worried about if Edge can go or not. I think it's just a matchup. Like if I look at Edge and Roman, I'm not expecting like a high, fast-paced match. Roman takes his time as well. Yeah. When we get Edge versus Seth Rollins, that's gonna be pretty quick. That's gonna be off the charts there. So you're gonna get that high, exciting match with them. But for this match, it served its purpose. I thought the slower pace, they were really working out there. They were building the story. I knew from jump. I told it in the stream. I said, and I'm sure I'm the only one. Seth Rollins is coming out from the beginning. I knew exactly he's gonna come out and screw over Edge. You lead to SummerSlam. The thing with Seth Rollins though, and I feel like they finally got his character right. Like he lost Money in the Bank early in the match. He's been teasing Edge, saying, "I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna beat you up." I think Seth Rollins, if he won Money in the Bank, he would have never came out. He would have wanted Edge to win. He would have cashed in on him some other time, had a big moment. But the fact that he lost, that pushed him over the edge. He said, "No, fuck Edge. I'm gonna come out and attack him. That's not gonna happen." That was my moment. So I thought in a way, he's kind of, because that's something Edge would have did back in the day. He would have screwed someone over, had that that psychotic breakdown. I feel like Seth had that with Edge, and I like those little moments where I could look into it, and it's like a little bigger than, it's larger than life in a way. It's like watching a story. So I'm really gonna enjoy this build. We're gonna get Edge, Seth, and Edge and Cena versus Romans and Seth probably in a tag match, building up to SummerSlam. So I'm very excited for this road. The match itself, we'll get to the scores, but just a solid match, I thought. Not too exciting, but solid, slow pace and solid.
That tag team match, I'd actually like to see that as part of SummerSlam rather than the singles, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It sounds like a pretty good tag match if you do Edge and Cena versus Roman and Rollins. Yeah. But yeah, that's what it is. You're trying to create other storylines, and this match kind of suffers because of it. But it is what it is. But let's get over to the comments section. We start wrestling. Cena returned, overshadowed the Edge and Seth brawl. Yeah, I mean, you're not really good. Yeah. That's the second thing in your mind when you think about you think about Cena first, and then you would think about the rest, all that stuff. Edge versus Seth at SummerSlam should steal the show.
I think it might.
Yeah, it'll be a faster paced match, like you said. Like Roman works slower purposefully. He does it on purpose, obviously, and then like a guy like Randy Orton, they work slower purposefully. Martin Carrillo, Eric knows how to explain Raw in 5 seconds.
Well, fuck Raw. Was that it?
Always like wrestling. I never liked Omos, but I had fun watching him tonight. I think he was good. He does look a little bit better. Or not even if he is better, but he just appeared to be better on this on this one. Yeah,
he's very confident.
Yeah. Always Talk Wrestling. Edge versus Reigns is one of my favorite wrestling matches of all time. 5 for me. It's yep. Part of his top 5. Eric, match was long, felt like an Iron Man match. It did run long. Like when you were looking at the time, like I was watching your guys stream, you were talking about like, or it's already getting to that point where it's gonna hit. I think it was 8 o'clock for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it's gonna hit, and then it was just like it kept running past it, and like, damn, this match ever gonna end?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they added more to it than they had to. They probably could have ended.
They definitely
earlier.
did.
Yeah.
Definitely
It had
did.
like had it run late, like with just the Cena returning stuff instead of that actual match running late. Always Talk Wrestling. Edge versus Reigns is the best match of this year, in my opinion. What's your guys' best match of the year so far in WWE, anyways?
WWE. I might go Bianca Sasha. I don't think I felt excitement like that.
I might have to go the same. Otherwise, it's just I mean, I would take a Morrison Ricochet match over tonight's Edge and Reigns match.
Yeah,
I'll take the women's match from tonight over it.
Okay.
Agree.
I would have to say Reigns KO that last man standing match from the Rumble. I thought that was I really.
That was
really
this year,
enjoyed that
right?
match.
Oh,
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Minus the little botch with the handcuff thing where they couldn't get it off.
Okay.
For me, that I really enjoyed that one.
I forgot that was this year. That was a great match.
That was really good.
And I hadn't seen it, but Cesaro versus Reigns at Backlash. I didn't watch Backlash. I didn't have a chance to, but I heard that was like match of the year candidate as well.
Yeah. It was a good match with Bizarro, man.
Always Talk Wrestling. Eric, I think it benefited the match. Oh, that it took longer. Okay. Always Talk Wrestling. Cena looks a bit different.
A bit.
A bit. I mean, he came back now. He's all about family now, so it's a different story.
Yeah, man.
Eric, yeah, I enjoyed the match, but I was sleepy. Yeah, my cousin Eric's a sleepy son of a bitch. He really is. He falls asleep anyway. Okay, funny story. So, WrestleMania 35, it was obviously here where I live at in the East Coast. So we had Impact Wrestling do a show in my town at the Rec Center. A very small show. Brian Cage was there, Sabu was there, Lucha Bros were there, RVD, John Morrison, stuff like that. They were all there, and he literally fell asleep during the show.
Oh, man.
He fell asleep. 75% of the show he fell asleep.
All right. Let me cut him some slack, though. Did you guys have to drive a little way there? Because I remember me and Eric drove somewhere. Okay, then yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'll say drive sometimes tires you out.
No, like for me, it was in my town, so it took me like 5 minutes to get there. But for him, it probably took him 10 minutes to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Probably like 15. Yeah, but he was just like 75% of the match he missed because of the show because he fell asleep.
I try to bail about.
Eric, you must have got some good shit eye during your anniversary.
And then on top of that, it's at a rec center, so it's like super small. We're sitting on these uncomfortable bleachers. It's not like it's loud in there, so it's like crazy. Cena is scheduled for Monday Night Raw. Rubbish to
why?
Rubbish. On Raw? No. Well, I mean, maybe he does show up on Raw just to like kind of maybe just say something because they have to wait till Friday now, right, to get another appearance out of him. So maybe
I guess.
Yeah, maybe that's why. What Cena versus Edge was awesome. You need to rewatch. Always Talk Wrestling. I didn't find it slow. I think it was perfectly paced. But I respect your opinion.
Ew, he is going to be on fucking Raw tomorrow.
He is? Okay.
Damn it, now I gotta watch Raw.
That's I figured because they have him in town. They're not gonna they're not gonna have him wait till Friday.
True. Yeah. Maybe his schedule, might not help with SmackDown.
Back to Eric's sleepiness. Ray to know me, I have to get my 12 plus hours of sleep, and I'm a happy guy.
You and me both, man.
Oh, man,
he'll literally fall asleep. Like we're playing a game, and we're talking to each other over the headset, and he literally falls asleep in the middle of the game while we're playing it.
Oh man,
I'm not that bad, but I'll fall asleep during pay-per-views.
There you go. All right, so Always Talk Wrestling. Here we go. Cena rocks. Let's go, Cena. And then he puts his laughing face right here. Martin Carrillo, ever since the ref was out, my God, there was a lot of shenanigans, but it was an enjoyable match. I don't know why they keep teasing us that Roman could have lost the title. Yes, that's an interesting thing. You keep teasing it. We all know he's not going to lose it. Now, I talk about this all the time. I'm cool with the Roman Reigns multi-year title run because there's nobody out there that really is built up to beat him. That's why they're obviously going the Cena route. They're going to go the Rock route. They want to bring in outside guys that actually are believable, maybe a chance of beating him. But nobody's been built, and now it's a catch-22 when it comes to Roman Reigns. You have something that's built so great and it's so wonderful to see on TV, and it's a great character, everything like that. But the flip side of it, you got nobody that's on that level that makes any sense to beat him. It's something you probably would have ran into in the Attitude Era if you didn't have that crazy ass roster of guys. You would have had one guy kind of just run through the whole locker room, but you had so many other viable champions as to why the belt moved around so much back then. I think it just is what it is, and we got Cena. We're gonna get somebody else after Cena too. So
yeah, we'll see, man. I'm fine with Roman Reigns holding the belt forever, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, are we
Just
gonna
make the
get
IC belt more prestigious?
There you go.
Give them-
Exactly. Yeah, give the guys that's the belt. That'll de facto be the main title because it's like who's gonna be Roman, right, guys? Let's just go for the other one. But it's like I guess he'll run through the locker room in between the big pay-per-views, and the big pay-per-views he'll get a part-timer and a legend or a part-timer, some type of guy like that. Let's see what else we got. Martin Carrillo. Is it me or is Michael Cole really good on commentary? Plus McAfee, they feel like a main event now. See, I think Pat McAfee is one of the jewels that they found to put on commentary for SmackDown and for WWE. I think it's the best commentary they got right now.
I love Pat, man. He's just natural. My only thing is with his show that he does Monday through Friday, how long can he keep him with his travel schedule?
Right.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an issue. I think. I mean, he probably fly private jet, so he probably be all right.
Yeah, I mean, get the NFL money too.
Yeah, can't hide money. Always thought wrestling. if Rollins would have won Money in the Bank, I would rant. He would have ranted. So he wouldn't have been a fan if Rollins would have won Money in the Bank.
Oh man, you should see him when Nikki won.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Cena will wrestle before SummerSlam? I mean, he is a busy guy, right?
He's busy. Let him do his shit, and he can stay off my TV.
If you can get him for that tag match, do it. Just to get him like a tune-up,
Yeah, because we do have how many? It's a full month before SummerSlam. So
yeah, full month.
5 weeks.
5 weeks. It's about 5 episodes. It's 5 episodes of Raw. I mean, of SmackDown, but we got to get them out.
And Raw apparently too. So
there you go. And Raw apparently. Yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, this is
Girl
interesting.
Summer.
I forgot to talk about this. There was the spot where Charles Robinson gets knocked out, and then Edge is pinning Reigns, and the referee is not in the ring, right? And they're counting the crowd, and you see McAfee going like this, and he's counting, and then Reigns kicks out because I think he thinks somebody's there counting, and then then they cut the camera away, and he comes back, and he's just kind of laid out, and then McAfee refers to he's like, oh, and Roman kicking out. I thought it was just a weird spot. Yeah, it was odd.
Okay, that's funny because I thought he can't be down for 3. I thought he just kicked out I don't know, but that's a good touch.
I feel like he was like, he felt like I think he thought somebody was in the ring, and Edge was like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Get back.
Yeah, okay. I gotta rewatch that.
I got Little Fettuccine 69 predictions for tomorrow night's Raw. Cena runs through the whole locker room.
Oh no, I'm definitely watching.
Sounds about right.
I think Bobby has to confront him. I think it's weird you come on Raw and call it the other world champion. I think there has to be a confrontation there. Maybe it doesn't lead to anything, but just, some type of acknowledgement there.
Well, Goldberg is supposed to be there, I think, tomorrow night, too.
That is true, too.
Yeah.
That is true, too.
Yeah.
I would have trash bags open the show, get him out of there, and then Bobby is coming in the limo later on, so they don't do that altercation. Because you're right. Yeah. Why would you not confront, get the fuck off my show, I'm the champ?
I'll throw it.
Get the fuck off my show anyways, because he sucks, but...
I'll say Becky returns tomorrow.
Oof. That's a lot of people on one show. That's a big Raw.
But I mean, it's a long ass 3 hours.
Well, I mean, 1 hour for each. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 1 hour for Cena, 1 hour for Goldberg, 1 hour for Becky. Makes sense. Do you think is Randy Orton going to be there tomorrow? Is there more RK Broness?
Ooh,
one can hope.
Yeah. You start building for SummerSlam, so I think you have to be back there. You give AJ and almost a segment with them to build towards that match.
Yep. Yeah, it seems like the match that's going to happen at SummerSlam. Probably drop the titles to RK Bro at that point. And then get hopefully AJ back on the main title picture. Martin Carrillo, Cena was watching the Roman and Edge match. Didn't you guys see? No.
You almost had me.
Yeah, I was like, what? You had me on that one. That's true, yeah. Little Fettuccine 69, always talk wrestling. Little Fettuccine 69, Brock returns. Brock's not returning. I don't think so.
No,
as well as Becky and Cena needs to address something. So it's just 3 things right there.
Cena is going to defeat Lashley for the championship. Go to SmackDown and then say, I've got a championship. You've got a championship. Let's fight for both these championships. Cena gets them both. Everyone's happy. War is no more thing. Zach, it's going to be beautiful. Just watch.
There you go. All the world's problems solved right there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who had a better pay-per-view this weekend? Talking about Slammiversary or Money in the Bank?
Never.
We got into this on our stream.
I don't want to go off on another TNA rant. This is not the place for that. But stop disrespecting TNA. Slammiversary is an amazing pay-per-view. They did their thing. It was WWE this time. But we're not going to sit here and pretend like TNA didn't put on banger matches. TNA has the best lineage of world champions. TNA has some of the best wrestlers in the whole company, in the whole world. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy. Let's get real here. I'm gonna stop here before I go crazy.
This man is Samurai Jack, always living in the past.
Let me say this: your Slammiversary. I said this on the stream. A pay-per-view built around wrestlers other companies released, and now your next pay-per-view is built around what other companies can bring to your pay-per-view. I think it's time to fold the fucking company. You got a lot of great talent.
How many TNA world champions? How many TNA world champions are on Money in the Bank tonight? AJ, Bobby, was Jeff there? No, but a whole lot of people were there.
Were any of these people at the Slammiversary? Did they want to go back to this company?
But they made their names in TNA, man.
But they're making money in WWE.
I know a CEO that used to work at Walmart.
Man. All right. So yeah, like I heard, like I said on your stream, I heard that they pulled WCW and they mistimed the show and they got shut off early when this guy Jay White showed up, right?
Yeah, it did. They had some other stuff happen off screen.
Yeah. It is what it is. What are you gonna do, right? I mean, growing pains, right? For a company that's been around for how long? They
man.
Exactly. Lineage.
An interesting question here for Little Fettuccini. Bucks or Suns on Tuesday? So the Bucks are up 3-2.
Damn. Yeah, they are. This is CP3. I think this is the only chance to get a ring. So I'm hoping they pull out. So I'm gonna say they're gonna force a game 7. Suns will beat the Bucks.
Going Bucks.
Bucks for Tuesday. Okay, so there it is.
Grew up in Wisconsin, Bucks guy.
There you go. Being one hell of a choke job by the Suns, being up 2-0 and actually.
I know, man. It's like the Mavericks against the Heat 06.
That's a rough one right there. Always Talk Wrestling fell asleep during Sammy versus KO at Mania. Damn, shots fired.
Yeah, it hurts.
Must have been. Yeah.
I think my cousin Eric fell asleep through the whole show, so you're all right. Martin Carrillo, imagine if Roman shows up on Raw. RIP brand split. Brand split's been a disaster, man. It's just so useless. Like it was I liked it in the beginning, like the 2016, like the second draft split. It was all right in the beginning. I think it's mostly because like AJ was like running SmackDown. That was his show, stuff like that. I really like that aspect to it. But then after a while, it just kind of gets stupid. And they had that weird like wild card rule. That made
dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
They're probably like, you know what? Let's get this guy on the show. Oh, he's on the other show. Oh, but wild card. We just use that. So
yeah.
Always Talk Wrestling. I think they did well, making us believe Edge was going to win. I was nervous. There were some parts. I mean, there's some parts you think like they swap the title, but in the end, you're kind of just like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just, Eric, ending the brand split might be a good idea. Might just save Raw.
I don't think they can do that because you just got so much talent. You need to split up because when they did end it last time, you just hadn't seen the same talent in both shows. Mm-hmm. So they need to just get it right, but you need a brand split for sure.
The networks don't want them to get rid of it because it lets the networks advertise with very specific people. So very specific people are allowed to go back and forth. Other very specific people who are on brand merchandising are not.
Makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah, it does. Martin, should AJ head back to SmackDown? If Paul Heyman wasn't there, I say yes. He just has a lot of beef with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, there's a lot of beef there. Keep him on Raw. I want him to get another world title run. He won't get it with Roman being there. Even though he gave Roman some of his best matches. Some of his best matches with AJ.
That is true, definitely. Yeah, those are some of his best matches. That's the problem. Like he went back to SmackDown, and then they brought Roman. They gave Roman Paul Heyman, so he was like, "All right, I'm out," and it went back to Raw. Yeah. So that is what it is. As long as Heyman's on the brand, he won't be there. Can't believe that guy fell asleep during Mania. I mean, yeah, it was you.
Oh man.
Okay, Little Fettuccini 69. How much are you going to donate to the Corbin Foundation?
You cannot.
Shit, man.
You technically, it's there, right? But you technically cannot.
It's technically cannot. There's some shade thrown in there. I think like Roman Reigns sent him $5. Like it's set up for a heel thing. You cannot you cannot donate. But that is that's the ultimate heel thing. Is he's taking from fans who went through a pandemic and are broke themselves. But,
man, donating to the Corbin Foundation, like buying MJF cryptocurrency. Who would do that?
Oh yeah. Got fucking scammed.
Now, when it comes to sad and down on his luck, Corbin, I've booked this many times in my reviews. I think they need to go the route where he is, they do a shot where the guys are walking into the locker room. He you kind of see him. He kind of gets up. He's been sleeping there, right? Overnight because he can't afford a hotel room. And he's just pretending like he's putting on his gear. That's why he's there. They're like, what are you doing here, dude? I was like, I'm just putting my gear on. And then like they get into the rental car. And as soon as they step in, like you see the passenger and the driver, they get in and he's just back there in the back. And they're kind of just like, what the hell are you doing here? I was like, oh, what's up guys? Where are we headed? I'm riding with you guys. Or they catch him like sleeping maybe in the back of one of their rental cars or stuff like that. They got to go really down and out, down this like homeless style Baron Corbin trying to whatever he can to get from town to town as they start traveling through. I think that'd be a fun thing to, or him in the crowd trying to collect from fans, like in the change, like like Batista, like you know what I'm saying, like that.
They could have some fun with this. You see him with all his clothes in the old Firefly Funhouse area set. Do you write, Anthony? I'm a little curious. Do you write it all?
No, I don't.
Because you do have some of these cool shots that you be thinking of.
So I thought about that one because, like, for me, it's like I think if you're gonna go that route, you got to go all in. You have to, like, you have to go all in because it's such an outlandish thought that he's under contract with this company, but he's not, has no money. Like, unless he's in massive amounts of debt, is the only way you kind of believe it. But you gotta look at his financials at that point. Marker, I hope Goldberg can hit a jackhammer well enough.
No, we cannot.
I feel bad for Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley weighs about what, 260, 270?
At least,
right? That's a lot of weight to get up there.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah. Oh man. Goldberg has not hit a good jackhammer since God knows when.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Corbin didn't get car insurance last time.
He got repossessed.
Yeah. What's that? What's that? He has to get Car Shield. What's that? The Ric Flair commercials that keep happening with
LA Knight.
LA Knight. Yeah, there you go. All right. So, what's your biggest takeaways coming out of tonight? Not including John Cena, that's the most obvious one. I'll kick Eric first.
Biggest takeaway. I like the confirmation that we are getting Seth and Edge. I like that they called back to 2014, so that's a cool thing. Yeah, I guess that's my big takeaway. Nothing else really jumps out at me. Oh, Big E, Big E. That's gonna be baller.
What about you, Zach?
My biggest takeaway is the fact that I'm skeptical on how they're going to slowly sprinkle surprises and comebacks for what's to come from SummerSlam and with having fans back. I think some of their booking tonight wasn't it. So I hope they get their stuff together. And I'm just still a little worried about Raw tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's weird territory going tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. How it's going to go down. What about you, Knock?
They got to learn how to book the women. This is going to be the most interesting time in pro wrestling all around for returns and big pops. Big E will be world champion, and Edge is about to have the match of his life with Seth Rollins. You need to put him with a workhorse like that.
Makes sense, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, everything except John Cena. There's a lot of interesting things that are going to go down, how they're going to work their way towards SummerSlam, and how the build is going to be towards SummerSlam. Now we're going to get the first build with fans. Yeah. So they're going to ramp stuff up. Are the builds going to get better? And is Raw going to get better? That's the most interesting thing. And is Raw going to be just too crazy tomorrow night with too much going on? They do have 3 hours to fill, so that should be pretty interesting. We'll get to this last question here because it's an interesting one. Is Toni Storm going to be a heel or a face?
They like to flip-flop, but I think they need more faces. Put her back as a face. She was a really good face. She was best as that.
There you go.
Depends on what Vince wants.
That is true.
Yeah.
She was last seen as a heel in NXT, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. All right. And then we'll end with this. With an ass like that, Toni Storm doesn't even matter. Little Finishing 69 with Seth and Edge have a gimmick match at SummerSlam.
I hope not.
No, do it straight up. Seth can at least bring the excitement on his own. You don't need to do a gimmick.
Yep.
Just a regular match. Yep. All right. Well, that's our review and reaction to tonight's pay-per-view of Money in the Bank. Sorry. It was here and there. I mean, there's some stuff that you like, some stuff you don't like. Big Langston is the new Mr. Money in the Bank. Same champions, except Charlotte now is the Raw Women's Champion. No Becky Lynch, none of that stuff. There's really not much else to kind of go into. We'll see how Monday Night Raw goes down. I want to thank Eric, Zach, Knock from West Coast Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to their channel if you're not subscribed to them yet. They did an awesome watch along of the show. We got one last comment I want to get to. You know, I always got to hit every single comment. Martin Carrillo, a part of Natalia and Tamina. Who else can Knox and Shotzi face? Nobody, right? It's like nobody.
Didn't they lose to them twice already? How do you drop out your tag team chips? They don't have any tag teams. You broke up Mandy and Dana.
Yeah,
that is true.
You just got to do it how you do sometimes when you have local talent come in, and you just do it. Or you find yourself.
They should do more. They should do more.
Yeah,
like enhancement matches and stuff like that. Yeah, because you really get no other tag teams whatsoever. So I mean, it's pretty shitty tag team women's division, to be honest with you. It's not looking good.
Yep.
But they're probably going to be tag team champions, Shotzi and Knox, and then they have nobody else to face either. But yeah, again, thank you to West Coast Podcast. Appreciate these guys for doing these reviews with me every single time. Hopefully we continue to do them after every single pay-per-view. Have these same group of guys here with me. Remember, subscribe to them. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw review and reactions. All that good stuff. Hopefully Raw doesn't suck. We'll see what happens. John Cena's back. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yes, sir. The family man.
You could either be happy or upset about it, but just remember it's all about family in the end. Just like Knox just said. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah, peace out, man.